Good afternoon, guys. My name is Balaji Siva. I'm Director of Product Management at Cisco. And so I'm doing my second vBrownbag session. Happy to do that. Today's talk will be about how our Cisco's virtual switching, or generally the market, is evolving to a more application-based and cloud requirements. Cisco has been one of the earlier adopters of the third-party vSwitch in the vSphere hypervisor. We definitely believe that as the virtualization is obviously becoming more and more important in terms of you have the 60 to 70% of the workloads today are virtualized, and so the hypervisor is obviously becoming important in that case, and that the vSwitch inside the hypervisor is obviously more important. This is the first the network device that the VMs actually touch. So having a choice in the virtual switches is important. We have seen all the vendors, all the hypervisor vendors support different virtual switches, but it'll be good to talk about a couple of requirements. So the two choices we have, or it could be both, in that sense that the native vSwitch that's in the hypervisors supports some of the protocols, the standard protocols that the rest of the industry needs to be able to support a solution. Some of the things are like OpenFlow, OMI, or Offlex, and other protocols. For example, Cisco ACI it requires Offlex to be able to provide a good service on the virtual side. So the virtual switches that is there, native vSwitches, it'll be great that if those have some of those protocols. These are standard protocols so that other vendors can actually leverage the vSwitch as is and be able to provide solutions. The other option is obviously you can actually allow third-party vSwitches to be part of your hypervisors. So this is being done already today. If you look at the model today, vSphere, Hyper-V, and KVM. vSphere is obviously has a native vSwitches, but also has third-party vSwitches. Cisco has a couple of them, IBM and HP, and same with Hyper-V. They opened it up, and so that other vendor switches can be in there. For the open source hypervisor, for example, OVS is being is getting contributions from different individuals as well as vendors as well as other people. So it's great that we have a choice there. So this choice for us is very important. As an industry, it's very important. So for customers to not be locked into any specific vendor's solution. So open source is awesome. Cisco is contributing a lot in the OVS space. Adding VXLAN, adding Offlex agents, etc. And we also are providing the enterprise-grade virtual switches. If you look on the screen there, you have the Nexus 1000V that's available across vSphere, Hyper-V, and KVM. We have been shipping for the last 6 years. We launched actually 6 years ago in VMworld 2008 on 2009, whatever it was. We have 10,000 customers on Nexus 1000V vSwitch, which is basically providing a choice in the vSphere space. We have since then expanded to Hyper-V and KVM. So if you look across, all of the hypervisors have a choice in sort of our choice of enterprise grade. So why we do it? Because we feel like we can provide consistency between the physical networks and the virtual networks. Nowadays, both are kind of blending in, and most customers have physical workloads, bare metal workloads, and the virtual workloads, and they want to be able to manage it consistently. So one of the one of the architecture we introduced is called the application-centric infrastructure, where we have an application policy infra controller that's not only basically managing the physical switches in all in one shot, as well as the virtual switches inside the hypervisor as well. So you have end-to-end architecture that provides different types of hypervisor choices. It's not like just one vendor. It's VMware, Hyper-V, KVM, Xen choices. You have open protocol called Offlex that is actually other vendors are able to use to connect devices to it, like F5 and other people are doing it. For example, Microsoft is putting an Offlex agent inside the Hyper-V, so we can actually manage them as well. So the AVS that we introduced for the VMware vSphere, because vSphere currently does not support Offlex, we introduced a vSwitch called the Application Virtual Switch. It's fully integrated into the ACI application infra controller, and is using the Offlex protocol to be able to enforce policies. Why is it important? As a customer, you have physical workload, virtual workload. You may move workload from VMware to Hyper-V to KVM or to a bare metal workload, and you want to be able to apply the same policy. You can choose what you want to do today and change it tomorrow, and the policy would be consistently applied across physical and virtual, and that is very powerful. So for example, we could do like intra, what we have something called EPG, or the endpoint groups. Think of it as a segmentation, right? So endpoint group is a segmentation. So if a server has a multiple segmentation, we can do intra segmentation policy if there's communication that needs to happen, or inter policy. It could be in a different subnet, same subnet, it doesn't really matter. We will be able to provide a pervasive gateway across all of these hypervisors and be able to provide a solution for at the virtual level, as well as, of course, the key strength of the APIC is of physical level. But then when you combine these two together, you get the end-to-end visibility and the application performance visibility across the whole infrastructure, and not just specifically for specific hypervisor or specific types of these things. So that's the benefit of ACI. And as the customers are moving, to a hybrid cloud, and now it's the virtual switching now obviously evolved from supporting a Cisco infrastructure to more of a broader application-centric infrastructure where application policy were enforced in the virtual switches. Now, now the customers are saying, I want to not only building a private cloud, I want to move to a public cloud. And when I want to go to a public cloud, I don't want to have a vendor lock-in. I want to have any hypervisor choice on my private clouds, as well as any provider on the provider side, because that's pretty important too, because we don't want to be saying, I want to only go to one type of, one vendor only. Most of the major providers are providing one-to-one, like you have this here on the private cloud, and you can go to one of them, right? To my public cloud. I think our Cisco's goal is to provide choices for customers, so we are actually opening up the public cloud side, so you can take your workload running across VMware, Hyper-V, KVM, and Xen on your private cloud side, and be able to migrate to a public cloud. Either it's Windows Azure or Amazon AWS or BT, for example. This is in beta today, and it will be shipping in the next month. So this is not an imaginary situation, these are real situations. Now, we provide a single console to be able to manage your workload from moving from private to public or back from public to private. So it allows you to have flexibility in terms of how much money you want to spend on the public cloud. There are people who are spending millions of dollars on the public cloud as that's their only primary way to run their workloads. But also you could choose, maybe, maybe today I want to do it this way. A month from now, I want to bring it back and let all the workloads run in my private cloud, so you can do that. So, like I said, the virtual switching is now have to evolve now. Not only I'm just supporting my internal private application workload, now I'm moving to a public cloud, so I need to have security. I need to be able to provide VM mobility across this, my private cloud, which I'm very comfortable with, to a heterogeneous public cloud. So it could be Azure you may be moving to, you may be moving to Amazon, you may be moving to something else. We need to be able to provide that simplicity of movement from any private cloud to any public cloud. You may need the same services in terms of security, firewall, routing capabilities. You need to be able to have that. Otherwise, you are not comfortable moving to any cloud. Today, the problem is all the different providers are very heterogeneous. So you just can't assume that you're going to get the same kind of services on any cloud. So we are providing a simple way to provide for customers an ability to go to any cloud. They can choose any cloud and get the same services. So in conclusion, I think we have seen that open choices is important in all cases, in terms of hypervisors, in terms of vSwitching within hypervisors, in terms of solutions. Like ACI is one solution. Maybe there are other solutions from other vendors in the market that needs to leverage the vSwitching inside the hypervisor. So, so these are all choices. And also now when you go to the cloud, you want to be able to go to any type of cloud as well. So those are the different things that the industry has to work together to make it happen. And we are playing our part in terms of contributing open source, in terms of working with different partners we hope that that continues. And that's all I have. Thank you for listening.